Hey everyone, it's Jess. So I was thinking today about something that it was kind of shocking to me. So I'm going to be traveling soon. I have a trip coming up and I started thinking about all of the arrangements that I would have to make in order to make this trip. Like where I'm going to be staying, how I'm going to be getting around, how I'm going to be getting to and from the airport, and I'm going to be traveling alone. So I was thinking about what I need to do for the house before I leave and what I need to do in order to help David make things easier for him while I'm gone. And I started to think, am I too independent? So it might sound like a silly question because independence is definitely something that people strive for in their life. But I started to think about the fact that because the way that this trip is set up, I'm going to have to be asking for a lot of help from other people in order to make things happen. I'm going to be staying with friends. I'm going to be asking friends for transportation. I'm going to have to rely on either a service or a friend to get me to and from the airport. I'm going to be asking for help at work because I'm going to have to be taking some time off work, so other people are going to have to pick up my responsibilities. And all of these things, all of these plans that I was making started to make me feel really, really guilty and really bad. And I've never really considered this before, but I'm wondering if I have an issue with asking people for help. And I started to think about my daily life, and I was thinking about the things that I ask people for help for and the things that I don't. And I really don't ask for help that much. And I'm not saying that as a good thing. I'm saying that that's definitely something that I need to work on. Like if you take my house, for example, like taking care of my house, doing dishes, sweeping, doing all of these things, I do all of that. And it's not because my husband hasn't offered to do those things or he hasn't done those things in the past. It's because I've told him, no, I will do all of these things myself because I want them done a certain way. And I know that a lot of households operate that way. I know a lot of households don't, but I do know a lot of my friends' households that operate that same way too, where only one person takes care of the house. And whether that works for you or not, that's totally grand. But for me, I started noticing that that might be one of my issues of asking for help. I want to be independent. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to be doing all of these things in life that I can do myself and I don't have to rely on anyone. And that's just not reality. I wouldn't have even gotten married if I knew that I could live through this life by myself because I really can't. But I act like I can, and that is a huge concern for me. Now, being independent isn't a bad thing at all. Having my own self-sufficiency and being able to find my own solutions to my own problems is definitely a big and good thing for my life. But the problem I am having with this is when I do need to ask for help, the guilt that comes along with asking for help is crushing. It's an ugly feeling, and I really don't want to feel this every time that I need to ask for help. And of course, I'm speaking for myself in this video, but I definitely know a lot of my friends have had struggles with this. We live in a society where we want equality and we want all of these amazing things. We want people to be able to be treated equally and to have equal opportunities in this entire country, which I love. But sometimes I think that that breeds this mentality that we have to be able to do everything on our own, which just simply isn't true. So I started to think of ways that I'd be able to help myself with this problem. And I think the first thing that I need to address is the guilt. Because me feeling guilty for having to ask a friend for a ride from the airport, which is like 10 minutes away from where they are, shouldn't make me feel like I'm the worst person in the world. So what I'm really trying to focus on in combating this guilt is to show myself love and grace in these situations in order to make myself feel like it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be independent in every situation. Because the guilt is coming from me. It's coming from my internal voice and the way that I speak to myself and the way that I feel. So the only person that's going to be able to help me with combating that guilt is me. So if I show myself the same amount of love that I show myself whenever I am able to do something by myself, I think that that will be huge and I'll really be able to help limit that guilt. And I started to think about situations where I have asked for help and people have said no to me. Or I've asked for help and people have let me down in some way and not met the expectations that I had for that specific issue. And you know what? People will let me down in life, and that's okay. It's not okay all the time, but we're all different people. We're all going to do things a different way. And if people don't do it the way that I want them to do it every time, that's okay. That's not an issue with them. That's an issue with me, and that's something that I need to fix within myself. I think first what I need to do is literally ask for help. I need to ask for help more, and I need to see how that feels. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. I am in charge of my own emotions, and I am in charge of how I present myself in the world. And if something doesn't work out to my standards or something doesn't work out for me because of someone else, I need to be able to make sure that I can find different solutions the next time. If that person acts upset with me because I asked for help, or I asked for too much help, or I asked at an inconvenient time for them, then that's an issue with them. That is not an issue with me. I don't need to have guilt associated with that feeling if I ask for help and then someone's not really excited about helping me. Obviously, they have something going on in their life where it's either inconvenient or not easy to help me at that time. And even though they still wanted to help me, it wasn't exactly what they wanted to do. And clearly that's something going on in their life, not something existential, but they have work, or they're busy, or they have other things going on that they're focusing on for themselves before they want to help other people. And that's okay. I just don't have to ask that person for help again in the near future. This is something within me that I really want to work on. I didn't even know that I had this problem until I started planning this trip. But even though I am an independent person, I do need help a lot of the time. And what I'm going to start doing today is to start showing myself more love and more grace instead of feeling guilty for the things that I'm asking for. Because if what I'm asking for is too much, then they'll simply say no. Being independent in this world is amazing, and it's definitely something to celebrate. But I think asking for help is something to celebrate too. It creates community, and it shows us who's important to us and who we are important to in the world. And that, I think, is what really matters. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys later.